Ladies and gentlemen, the Element Band. I'm not. My children have made clear I can't. Armenian has made clear I can't. But I'm here for storytelling. Well, my friend Rose gifted me a ticket to a music collective in Pasadena called Musique. And I went and I heard them perform all of the songs I love, Schubert, Aznavour, Stevie Wonder, but they accompanied them by the stories I never knew. So here today, the USC Institute of Armenian Studies is collaborating with the wonderful Element Band and its founder, director, Armenian, the multi-instrumentalist Armenian, you see what's coming, to bring you some old and some new classics, the songs we love, but with the stories we just didn't know. In a dozen songs, the Element Band will cover hundreds of years and tens of thousands of miles, ending with the new Armenia, hopes and dreams. But we're also going to start with hopes and dreams. It turns out that famous movie soundtracks can be written by Gatorigoses. You didn't know, did you? Nerses Shnorali, first a Gatorigos, later a saint, wrote Aravod Luso, the Sharagan, the hymn that is the beginning of the Sunday liturgy services. It literally means the morning light. But it's also used in grade schools to help children remember the alphabet because it's 36 stanzas, of 3-line stanzas of each letter of the alphabet. Don't worry, we're not going to sing them all today. We're not going to sing them all. Yes, Sarah? No, not all of them. But just enough so we understand how 800 years later, it was written, 800 years after it was written, it gained fame as the soundtrack to Tsori Miron. Sose Aramuni will offer just a couple of the stanzas, Mahsa Ghasemi on cello and Arada Banjan on guitar. This is the first piece of this sound stories. Minstrels that are a beloved part of the musical tradition. Ashughs were almost always selected young and nurtured young. They were children with extraordinary musical abilities, but many had physical disabilities. At the turn of the century, as many as 1/4 of the Ashughs in Armenia were blind. Yet, someone would have read them a novel of Rafi and other stories, and they would commit them to memory, and then they would often later put them to music. With this in mind, it's really worth listening to their descriptions of incredible nature or a woman's seductive physique, knowing that they're all seeing this in their mind's eye. Sayat Nova, whose fame was reinforced by one of Martin Scorsese's favorite films, Sergei Parajanov's Color of Pomegranates. It's an instrumental, Arada Banjan on accordion, and Masa Ghasemi on cello. After the Ashughs comes Gomidas. The great tortured genius collected 4,000 songs from Armenian towns and villages. He gathered and arranged these songs in later years on a piano gifted to him by the Russian Armenian oil baron, Alexander Montashov, a friend and colleague of Calouste Gulbenkian's. But until 1915, Gomidas was not the sad, heavy, burdened cleric that we all have come to know. He was considered the most fun-loving jokester in all of Etchmiadzin. Born in Kütahya with a beautiful voice, but to a poor family, he was constantly overlooked and passed over when it came time to choose someone to send to the Gevorkyan Seminary in Etchmiadzin. So he packed his bags and went to Etchmiadzin on his own. He arrived and he said to the Katolikos he wanted to be admitted. The Katolikos said, "But you don't even speak Armenian, you speak Turkish." And Gomidas said, "That's why I'm here. If I knew Armenian, I wouldn't have come." He was admitted, and he went on to not just produce the work we know and love, but he also lived quite a cosmopolitan international life. Just in 1907 alone, he lived in Paris, in Germany, and in Switzerland. In 1900, he reviewed a volume of Armenian songs by going through each one of them and exposing the foreign influences of the songs in great detail. It might come as a shock to know that a lot of your favorite sharagans fall in that category. But the song you're about to hear, Yes Sarengukai, I was coming down the mountain, you opened the door, you put your hand through your shirt on your chest, and you sighed and you cried. I am melting, I am melting, I am burning. On saz, Arada Banjan, and the vocalist is Sose Aramuni. Hovannes, considered one of the 20th century's most prolific American composers, was a favorite of John Cage and Leonard Bernstein. Because he was a part of a shift in 20th century American music that looked to non-Western cultures for creative renewal in American art music. His turn towards the sounds of the East for inspiration and his fondness for repetition and complex meters anticipated the trajectory of minimalist pioneers like Philip Glass. This song, Yar Nazani, combines Alan Hovannes's music with words by Hamaster, a poet who died here in California in the 1960s. He was born in Kharpert, and his books are entitled The Village, The Rain. So it should come as no surprise that this song is about a goat, a saz, and, of course, a girl. Please welcome vocalist Natalie Avunjan with Arada Banjan on mandolin.
Sazov yares nasari Yar nasani nasani Yar nasani nasani Sazov nasani Sazov nasani Hakhverdyan Kenat sazı manat sazı Yah nasani nasani Yah nasani nasani Sazov nasani Sazov nasani Sazov nasani
Sometimes a song is just a song, like this next one. Natalie Avunjan with Armen Manavazyan on contrabass and Mahsa Ghasami on cello produced such a beautiful rendition of Meravoraç Gerun. It doesn't matter that we couldn't find anything on Gharibian or Yengibarian, the guys who wrote the words and the music. I looked, we pulled out all of the reference books, Geram, who was doing the research, looked. We couldn't find anything but enjoy.
Ruben
In 1965, in Soviet Armenia, a 15-year-old who wanted to become an architect wrote the words and the music of a song that expressed the frustration of a whole nation. Ure ir Astvadz, where were you, God, when a whole nation abandoned, lost its mind? Artur Meshjan today is the chief architect of Yerevan. But what he's known for the world over are his songs of protest. First in 1965, and then in the 70s with his rock band, The Apostles, and then later with the blessings of Katolikos Vasken I, a requiem consisting of the works of a child survivor of the genocide, Moshe Rishchan, whose students for generations in Beirut loved his work. But this song isn't Moshe Rishchan's. This is written by 15-year-old Artur Meshjan alone. Welcome back, Natalie Avunjan, and on guitar, Arakas Abramian, and Arada Banjan also on guitar.
Ure das Weiß, wer brennt hat
Natalie Avunjan with Sose Aramuni. Where are the women, you ask? You can just keep asking, because that was the hardest part of this journey through the Armenian experience. But you'll like what we found. Lilit Biboyan, another architect, together with Artur Meshjan and Ruben Hakhverdyan, whom we'll hear about in a minute, wrote her own music about feelings, relationships. But unlike the others, Lilit also unearthed poems and songs that had faded from history. This one, Dumilar, is by Shushanik Gurkhinian, known as a writer, a poet, an organizer, and a feminist. In an interview about why she chose to write the music for this poem, Lilit Biboyan said, "I was curious about understanding how this one character could be the synthesis of a revolutionary, a poet, a citizen, a mother. Finally, trying to understand what is a woman." About Shushanik Gurkhinian, who died in the 1920s, the literary critic Mark Nishanyan said, "During her life and after her death, until today, she wasn't just misunderstood, rather she was met with conscious, intentional, organized rejection because she was a rebellious woman, the most unacceptable and incomprehensible sort of human." I got to come back. Aha, thank you. Sose Aramuni performs Du Milad with Arakas Abramian on guitar, Masa Ghasemi on cello, and Armen Manavazian on the contrabass.
Du milad milad, angines kuramur, kishero. Yerkit verkin tohi, hokin tatske voske, ushero. Yes kez mi hez getor morbes, mi jinjan jinj pat kamtam. Zavitz davitz mena santes, u mi shamvish tu partam. Kez in steins bajin mena koleru bedaraban. Yesim dëshrem kjankum an ma jev jergev ergev përkan. Tu milad milad, angines kuramur, kishero. Yergit verkin tohi, hakin tatske voske, ushero. Kezin steins bajin bena koleru ben daraban. Yesim dëshrem kjankum anma, jev jev përkan. Tu milad milad, angines kuramur, kishero.
So Ruben Hakhverdyan, the third of the generation of rebels, was not an architect. He was a balladeer who was loved by and fought with every movement and icon whom he's ever met. And he wrote this song in 1983. but it has come to symbolize the brain drain of the 1990s. Here is Champagne Lusanagar, or Lavakuin Dererke, Sose Aramuni, Arakas Abramian, Aradabanjan.
Lavakuin Dererke, Heranume, Otara Peru, Bachtvoronu. Sireli kanay tohnum gnume Urişleri meçhemiz kontrol Amben alavir kıl rücumne Yerguzu kaçgen tücanleş İsk sarsapelin hişovaçyunne Morhetu tutu secareç Upaçume kaminu Yesunem tangunim yercankutuna Tohna hans martikaç mufçuda Daim abrelumet sankutune Morfidiyerken kanıterkan Yesunem ikin vornin sirumen Naunim istilt hospitenta Minkunin potrik vornarten husume Udalis hartse tarsushida Natalise hartse tarsushida Hartse ramendesa Hartse shatarolina Yes portsumem gednel badashane Ustanu mamnur hartse Menim schadne mele Jesting sune mein kan hartse Je veit hartserian vel sharana Instibu menor yerkerdre Yeskite mor yerkayeva oke Yebik shmor chapon achitara Çakıcın haber patranke Vorin se taprum darno mekan
Hakhverdyan is known as a balladeer, but it's really another singer, chansonnier, who actually owns the title. When Charles Aznavour was born in Paris in 1924, his parents had their luggage packed, waiting for a visa to the United States. But the visa never came. The quota for Armenian immigrants had been filled that year, and there was no room for more Armenians. So baby Aznavour became Charles Aznavour, a good French Catholic name given to him by the midwife who couldn't pronounce his given name, Varinag. This man, who measured 5'3", has 2 statues in Armenia, each over 12 feet tall. He sang about AIDS, about war, about the incarceration of journalists. He called himself an immigrant, even though he wasn't one technically. He sang about gay rights as early as 1971, and he sang about women and love. Natalie Avlunjian will start with Aznavour's She, and Sose Aramuni will continue with What Makes a Man. Vahan Bazduni is on piano, cello is Mahsa Ghassemi, and accordion, Aradabanjan.
She may be the face I can't forget, a trace of pleasure or regret.
may be my treasure or the price I have to pay. She may be the song that autumn sings, may be the chill that autumn brings, maybe 100 different things within the measure of a day. She may be the beauty or the beast, maybe the famine or the feast, may turn each day into a heaven of her head. She may be the mirror of my dream, a smile reflected in a stream. She may not be what she may seem inside her shell. She always seems so happy in a crowd whose eyes can be so private and so proud. No one can see her when she cries. She may be the love that cannot hope to last, may come to me from shadows of the past. Did I remember till the day I die? She may be the reason I survive, the why and wherefore I'm alive, the one I'll care for through the rough and ready years. Me, I'll take her laughter and her tears and make them all my souvenirs. For where she goes, I've got to be. The meaning of my life is she. My mom and I, we live alone. A great apartment is our home in fair home towers. I have to keep me company, 2 dogs, a cat, a parakeet, some plants and flowers. I help my mother with the chores. I wash, she dries, I do the floors. We work together. I shop and cook and sew a bit, though mom does too, I must admit. I do it better. At night I work in a strange bar, impersonating every star. I'm quite deceiving. The customers come in with doubt and wonder what I'm all about. But leave believing I do a very special show when I am nude from head to toe. After stripteasing, each night the men look so surprised. I change my sex before their eyes. Tell me if you can, what makes a man a man?
If we're looking for more women, in 2001, Tata, yes, Tata, the Yerevan-based pop icon, released a 10-minute potpourri of songs dedicated to women. Among them, Marieta, Gohar, Armenuhi, Margot Margarita, Narine, Anna, and Nune. Many thought that was the birth of that song. Others think that the song was written for and by Nune Yasayan, who released it as a music video in 2000. No. Others think that the song was Andes, the Iranian Armenian performer extraordinaire. No. Those born in Beirut know the truth. This was originally sung by Adi Sarmandian in the 1970s, and maybe is about the old but not dead custom of bride abduction. Keyboard, Vahan Baznuni, drums, Anto Harutyunyan, and Natalie Avunjan as the vocalist. In the early 20th century, young poet Avedik Isahagyan wrote a poem called Siretsi Yaras Daran. And he had no way of knowing he'd be famous because this song and the melancholy tune that it picked up over the years would become a part of the soundtrack of the popular 21st century movie, The Gladiator. Here it is, without the duduk, but with cello and accordion. Sari Ashugh, the mountain girl, is Sari Galin, sometimes in Armenian, sometimes in Turkish. In Kurdish, it's Serle Serrani, and I'm going to dare the Farsi too, Damin Kishem. All are popular throughout the region. And in a way, this song became even more well-known when the friends of Hrant Dink chose it, Hrant's favorite song, to accompany the hundreds of thousands of mourners who participated in Hrant's funeral procession a dozen years ago following his assassination down the streets of Istanbul. Piano, Vahan Biznuni, Aradabanjan Oud, Sose Aramuni, vocalist. And the finale. In 1988, Ashugh Mirzoyan, an engineer and a lifelong trumpet player, stopped by the protest rally in the midst of the Gharapagh demonstrations in Yerevan's Opera Square and played the trumpet, the shepur, to direct the crowd's attention to the stage. The first tune he played was the score from the movie Inchue Armagum Keda, Why Does the River Roar? That 1958 film told the story of a man who accidentally ends up on the Turkish side of the Turkish-Armenian border and then looks longingly at his own village on the Armenian side. That movie was scored by Ardemi Ayvazyan, who was known widely as the father of Armenian jazz. So when Ashugh played the trumpet in the early months of 1988, he reawakened the feelings of yearning, and he and his shepur, or trumpet, became a staple and a symbol of the 1988 movement for Gharapagh reunification with Armenia. Such is the role of music in politics. In 2018, on the night of Nikol Pashinyan's first and failed attempt to election as prime minister, a young rapper, Hrag, wrote a song building on the word dukhov, an Armenianized declination of the Russian word dukh, which means spirit, energy, passion, all the ideas that Nikol Pashinyan and his many supporters had repeated after every speech and turned into a slogan for the movement. Dukhneret derbahek, they said. And the people did. Please welcome Austin Drake on trumpet and Sose and Natalie one last time. Thank you.
Thank you.
Please, all of you. Where's the trumpet? Oh, come on.